has more than 400,000 students. Two-time Academy Award-winning actor Tom Hanks will be imparting wisdom on Harvard's class of 2023. The Ivy League university announced today Hanks will speak at the school's commencement May 25th. Global news 24 hours a day, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in over 120 countries. I'm Nancy Lyons. Back to you, Carol and Jeff.
Nancy, how cool is that? Does he go Forrest Gump, or does he go...
I know. Isn't that great?
Oh, my God. I want to be there. All right, Nancy Lyons in D.C. Well, as you know, March is Women's History Month. Every day this month, we're celebrating significant moments in women's history. Now with your installment for this Tuesday, March 21st, here's Bloomberg's Lisa Mateo. On this day in women's history in 1969, women from the feminist group Red Stockings organized a public hearing about abortion that would shape how we discuss the topic today. The Speak Out was held at Washington Square Methodist Church in New York 4 years before the procedure would become legal in the United States. Historians say it was the first public forum where American women talked openly about ending their pregnancies. The event was attended by hundreds and inspired more public forums held nationwide. It was in response to a New York State Legislative Committee hearing on abortion the month prior. That's Today in Women's History. I'm Lisa Mateo, Bloomberg Radio. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Carol Master along with Jess Metten, getting ready for our next hour of Bloomberg Business Week on this Tuesday. But I do think about Jess, 24 hours from now, might our conversation be a lot different because of the Fed decision?
How much will it change? And we will hear from the man himself, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, at 2:30 New York time tomorrow. And obviously that'll be a half hour after we do get the Fed decision. And obviously those summary of economic projections that will include those dot plots that everybody likes to watch so closely when they come in quarterly.
Yeah, you do wonder how much it's going to change, right? And how much the last week and a half kind of plays into those projections as a result. Or do they not change that much because it does feel like things have calmed down? And does Jay Powell take advantage of the press conference to say, listen, we're on it? It's seeing regulators kick in. We're watching it. But for the moment, we're still on a mission to fight inflation.
Exactly. All of my sources when it comes to markets, they want to hear the type of rhetoric. They know most likely what might come from that statement at 2 p.m., but they want to know how his rhetoric is and what kind of tone we're talking, hawkish, dovish, what it looks like here.
All right, meantime, shares of Nike, they've gone from a rally to down about 0.5% here in the after hours. So a story that will continue into that Wednesday trade. Carol Master, Jess Metten, and this is Bloomberg Radio.
Live from the financial capital of the world, broadcasting across the globe, this is WBBR New York, Bloomberg 1130. This is Bloomberg Business Week. Insight from the reporters and editors who bring you America's most trusted business magazine, plus global business, finance, and tech news as it happens. Bloomberg Business Week with Carol Master and Tim Stenevec on Bloomberg Radio.
Hi, everyone. Bloomberg Business Week continuing on this Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, live from the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers Studio, streaming on YouTube and Bloomberg Originals. Tim, as you know, is on leave. I'm Carol Master, along with Bloomberg's Jess Metten. And coming up this hour, certainly front and center is the Fed meeting. Certainly front and center is what's going on with banks. And on that specifically, John Mack, former chairman and CEO of Morgan Stanley. Before that, Jeff, he was co-CEO for Credit Suisse Group, so he knows a lot about the banking community and Credit Suisse specifically. He weighs in on banks and risk.
And another thing I'm excited to get to after that, we are going to be speaking with Kelly Richmond Pope. She's a professor at DePaul University, but she's going to be speaking with us about her latest book called Fool Me Once, Scam Stories and Secrets from the $1 Trillion Fraud Industry. So that's going to be exciting coming up.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And also we're going to set you up for that Fed decision tomorrow. In the meantime, let's get a check on the top business stories, some news after the bell, and how those markets closed. Here is once again, Charlie.
Hi, thank you very much, Carol Master. Here's what's going on. We begin with Nike. The stock is now down 0.2% after hours. It did report robust quarterly sales that beat street expectations as the sportswear brand worked down its excess inventory. Profitability, though, missed estimates. Again, the stock now lower after an initial move higher. Stock is down by roughly 0.2%. We cannot ignore what GameStop shares are doing after hours. It swung to a surprise profit in the fourth quarter. It also beat analyst estimates for revenue. The stock right now up 34.3% in extended trading on shares of GameStop. Well, Wall Street certainly looking ahead to tomorrow's Fed decision and news conference while keeping an eye on the 2-year yield. Cameron Dawson is Chief Investment Officer at New Edge Wealth.
But the 2-year really is a reflection of how much risk this market wants to take. With the 2-year moving sharply lower, that's typically consistent with the bond market betting that the Fed is going to have to engage in very rapid interest rate cuts, simply because there is economic weakness on the horizon.
And we've got the 2-year at 4.16%, the 10-year 3.60%, the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ all rallied today. 1% gain for the Dow, up 316 points. S&P today up 51, a gain there of just about 1.3%. NASDAQ rallied 184, up by 1.6%. S&P, by the way, back above 4,000 at 4,002. Spot gold, 19.40 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude, 69.33 a barrel. First Republic Bank rallied today after closing at a record low yesterday as J.P. Morgan Chase charted out a new plan to help the firm. First Republic up today by 29.5%. Recapping, S&P up 1.3%. I'm Charlie Pelleton. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
You're listening to Bloomberg Business Week. It's now time for Wall Street Daily. David Weston speaks to the top names in finance and economics, taking on the week's biggest issues on Wall Street.
And in today's Wall Street Week Daily segment, David Weston catching up with former chairman and CEO of Morgan Stanley. He was there during the great financial crisis. We're talking about John Mack. He was talking about Credit Suisse. It's a bank that also Mr. Mack used to run. Here's the conversation and kind of how we got there.
I think the transition from being a Swiss private bank to a publicly held bank, that the rules and reporting have changed. I mean, the Swiss banks, I remember years ago when I was there, you could go down in their vault